Wow, this is really cool. I'm humbled by this honor. I certainly don't feel worthy with all these wonderful and other inductees. I feel blessed to share the head table with them tonight as we celebrate so many wonderful contributions to the sports landscape of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you to those who nominated me, those who voted for me, those who encouraged others to vote for me. Thank you to Eddie Webb and the Sports Hall of Fame staff for their commitment to Virginia sports. Thank you.
Put the mic up closer. You're much taller than I am.
I'd also like to say thank you to all the referees throughout the Commonwealth that have put up with my antics on the field and facilitated great games and competition for all those young players that want to strive for excellence. Well, I said this once, but again, this is really cool. I'm kind of pumped. It's very surreal to be up here as a new inductee in the Sports Hall of Fame. The really neat thing I started to figure out as the fourth soccer inductee that soccer is starting to change throughout the country. I think I first noticed this in 1995. There was the NCAA College Cup, which is the soccer equivalent of the Final Four. The final game was Virginia ended up winning, but I was in the hospitality tent before the game with, I believe, another inductee here, Ralph Sampson. So as I stood there talking to Ralph, we're having a nice little conversation, and this 8-year-old boy walks up to us, and he looked at me, then he looked at Ralph, then he looked at me, then he looked at Ralph, back at me, and one more time at Ralph. With a puzzled look, it said, "Excuse me, Mr. Ukrop, but can I get your autograph?" I graciously signed his autograph and said, "You actually might want his autograph more." But you see, it was a turning point for me. It started to recognize that, you know what? People are always watching. Whether you're a sports athlete, whether you're a parent, people are always watching. I'm honored to have my mom and dad here today, my siblings, Jacqueline, Jeff, and Nancy Jo. Several of their children are here, some of my former teammates, former coaches, close friends, and more family. Some are unable to attend, but I believe my brother's got my aunt, great aunt Nancy, on FaceTime as we speak. I'm especially thrilled that my beautiful wife Shannon and my children, Peyton and Presley, affectionately known as the Peas, are able to share this evening with me. While they know very little about my past athletic career, I'm honored to have them as teammates. I absolutely love my full-time role of husband and father. Faith has always been an important thing in our family. The lessons from Sunday mornings at church and then lunch at the family Redbird Farm on most Sunday afternoons reinforce the power of a strong relationship with God. Mom and Dad have always encouraged us to be good teammates, embracing your role and doing the best of your ability. The competitive nature of Sunday afternoon sports with family at Redbird Farm was a good way to learn how to be cool under pressure as we competed at everything. Thankfully, as sports sometimes interfered with our worship routine on Sundays, Mom and Dad always supported my athletic journey, often allowing me to wear my soccer uniform underneath my church clothes, including my shin guards, so that I could go right from church to warm up for my soccer game that afternoon. All those Sunday mornings, one verse always stood out, Proverbs 22:1. A good name is better than great riches, to be esteemed better than silver and gold. My fondest memories as a young athlete were with my dad. We competed in everything, shooting hoops together, learning how to snow ski, how to water ski, and summers at Willow Oaks Country Club when he would take me out to play 9 holes with just him. While I didn't beat him at anything until I turned 18, he taught me how to compete to the best of my ability by always exhibiting grace in both victory and defeat. Thanks, Dad. While he taught me to be competitive, sometimes a little bit too competitive, I always had a secret weapon as an athlete. The full support of the best and loudest cheerleader in Richmond, Virginia, my mom.
Number 6, your mother loves you.
It's funny, that's my next line. I recall constant days of embarrassment when she would shout out, "I love you, number 6. Score a goal, number 6. You can do it, number 6," from my youth soccer days to a high school career at collegiate, to my years at Davidson College, and finally in front of 48,500 fans in the Meadowlands in 1996 during the inaugural season of Major League Soccer. It took me 20 years to figure out that her encouragement was a secret to my success. Little cards of support, phone messages, plus the occasional $20 bill from Mom was her way to constantly remind me that she believed in me. Thanks, Mom. My siblings also were very supportive of me. I'm thankful they came to so many of my games, giving up their opportunities to participate in other activities. They encouraged me, they lifted me up, they cheered me on, and they kept me humble like the times when they remind me how dumb I looked in 1986, wearing my Karate Kid headband in California on vacation as I tried to meet girls. Didn't work. Thanks for always being there, Jacqueline, Jeff, and Nancy Joe. I love you guys even when I didn't show it well. I'm proud to have such amazing siblings. Thank you. I have two of my middle school teachers here tonight, Mr. Blair and Mr. Bradshaw, who both taught me 7th grade, one history, one English. Out of all the teachers and coaches through the years, these two men have had an incredible impact on my life. Just like my family, they too are wonderful encouragers and part of my journey. Mr. Bradshaw is an amazing competitor. He's got a wonderful story to tell, who remembers almost every game, race, meet he has ever coached. I like how his memory sometimes remembers me as a much better basketball player than I actually was. Mr. Blair, a remarkable leader, gifted at building confidence in each of his team members while allowing each person space to grow and learn. Their legacy is found in the many young men that they have influenced through their 30-plus years of teaching and coaching. I'm proud to be one of those young men. Thank you, Mr. Blair and Mr. Bradshaw. You have made a difference. Thank you. I have incredible teammates and friends, some of who have journeyed here tonight. I don't recall how many games we won or lost, but I do remember the road trips, the card games, the pranks, the shared experience that have left a positive mark on my life. Thank you guys for putting up with me and always encouraging me. Finally, Shannon and the Peas. I'm so glad God brought our paths together. I have so many amazing athletic memories, but they pale in comparison to the memories we create as a family. I loved our surprise wedding. The wedding where Zamp wore shorts by accident. I love our competitive nature. My daughter Presley trying to eat breakfast in under 2 minutes every morning. Watching British Barclays Premier League games with my son Peyton before we leave for church. Having birthday cake at 6 a.m. on your birthday. Riding bikes and longboards in the neighborhood, worshiping together at Commonwealth Chapel, singing along to Good, Good Father, and our movie nights, especially with my wife Shannon, as we go to Cinema Bistro every other Friday night. Thanks for making me so happy, Peyton and Presley. I believe in you guys. Peyton, I'm proud of the young man you're becoming. Shannon, you are special in a good way. Thanks for being so patient with me. Hey, Presley, I love you. I love you most. I win. One of the last stories I'd like to share. When I retired in 2004, I was invited to do some guest speaking. A gentleman named Fred Schneider from Huguenot United Methodist Church came over and said, "Hey, Rob, I'd like you to come speak to my church." I said, "Sure." So he said, "Could you send me a biography prior to the speech so that I could introduce you properly?" So I sent him my standard response. Today's speaker is Rob Ukrop, former player of the Richmond Kickers. So as I sat there waiting to be introduced, I prepared my remarks. I sat there. Fred got up to introduce me. It went something like this. I've watched Rob Ukrop play soccer for a lot of years. Former player for the Richmond Kickers. I watched him in high school. I watched him at Davidson College. I watched him play with the U.S. men's national B team. I've watched him play with the New England Revolution. And you know what? I've seen him score some great goals. But the best thing I could ever say about him, he is an unbelievable, incredible bench warmer. And as I sat there, I'm like, he's off script. See, it initially offended me, but it turned out to be the most amazing compliment I ever received. So I always tell people, it's really easy to be in a good mood and to be positive and be a good role model and a good example when things are going great, when you're the star or when you're in the field all the time. But you know what? It takes something special, something that I learned from my mom and my dad and my grandparents, that no matter the situation, give it your best in every situation. Strive for excellence in all that you do. Finally, I found this book as I was preparing for tonight. It's called The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Maybe you know the story, but as a kid, I used to have nightmares. I can remember in the early 70s when I learned to read, as I would go to bed, I could never sleep. I'd have a nightmare, and I never understood that my dad used to work late so he could come and participate in activities with my brothers and sisters and I. So I'd go down at midnight. I'm like, Dad, I'm having trouble sleeping. I had another nightmare. My dad would always say, let's read the Giving Tree. So it started off, we'd read it together, and then it became, I knew how to read it. But the story is this. There's a boy in a tree, and the tree gives the boy everything. Everything that the boy asks for, the tree gives up. From branches, to apples, to leaves, to the trunk, to finally, he just sat there on the tree. And the one thing the message always told me is that all of us have people like this in our lives. Many of mine are here today. I'm so thankful for them, the support, the encouragement. All these things make a difference. I would like to encourage each of you in this room to identify what your special gifts are, because I know that God has provided everybody here with at least one. The amazing thing about sports team isn't wins or losses or awards. It's about creating lifelong relationships, building community, strengthening families. I am blessed that soccer has allowed me a platform to make a difference in the lives of others. I hope one day to be a great encourager, like my mother and father, and siblings and friends and families that have helped me achieve things I didn't always think were possible. So smile. Break up your daily routine. Take your kids for ice cream. Laugh at yourself and be genuinely amazed that your words and actions can truly inspire others. Thank you for those who blessed me with encouragement and the gift of inspiration. I'm thankful again. Thank you to the Hall of Fame. And I'd like to encourage everybody here tonight to dream high, work harder, and keep on smiling. Thank you.
That was great, Rob.
I've got a 10-year-old who's had 5 years.